In Philadelphia today, an ICE van was torched. Let's watch the video. Now, if Trump and Tom Homan find out that this van was torched by an illegal, this is not going to help you at all. If you think things are intense now for breaking the law, when you do stuff like this, acts of terrorism against law enforcement, it's going to be 1,000 more times intense when you commit acts of terrorism like this against the police in America. So good luck. All I have to say are Democrats are to blame for this. Alexandria Cortez is to blame. Maxine Waters is to blame, telling people to take it to the streets and fight. You're telling criminals who broke the law to resist law enforcement. Simple as that. You're aiding and abetting criminals and facilitating violence against law enforcement. That's what Democrats do and stand for. And I hope Trump rains down on you. Listen, this isn't Joe Biden running the country anymore. You know, Sleepy Joe, who's asleep in the basement by 11 o'clock with ice cream all over his shirt. This is a real leader. Donald Trump is the real deal, and you're all about to find out. We also had 4 FEMA officials who defied President Trump's orders and purposely sent millions to New York hotels for illegals. Your tax money, the money that you make, being sucked dry out of your check every week while you can't pay your bills, buy food and things you need for your family, and the money is being sent by radical Democrats, anyway, to take care of a bunch of people who broke the law. And now they're getting fired. Oh well. And they should be prosecuted. They should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Grand larceny, I don't know what the charge is. If you steal over a certain amount of money, it becomes a felony. I mean, it's millions of dollars. They should be going to prison. Case closed. If you ever wanted to be sick to your stomach because you can't feed yourself or pay your bills after you worked a 40-hour work week, just watch this video. Fox News admits that the next step is major refunds for American taxpayers as Doge uncovers massive fraud and waste. Money that was sent where it should have never have gone. They admit it's time to return every single penny. Give that back to the American people and watch the economy explode. Well, that's some good news for once.
A viewer who reached out to me. She's in Cape Coral, Florida. And she says, Harris, could the government give all the taxpayers a refund from the money they're finding that went to places it never should have gone?
Yes, that is the next step. And that is the next natural step. When you are finding all of this money, when you are taking it back, when you are cutting off future streams of funding, give that back to the American people. Then you will see the economy absolutely explode. And people will once again be able to take out new loans and start new businesses and all the wonderful things that follow when they have more of their own money.
It's just amazing. It really is. So while they'll charge you an arm and a leg to send your kid to college, they'll give it to it. First of all, Fox News. Grants given to migrants. They're not migrants. They're illegal aliens. And by law, that's a definition. When you enter a country illegally, you're an illegal alien. Get over it. That's the law. You don't like the terminology? Too bad. It's not a racial slur. That's what it is, defined by the law. So get it right, Fox News. Get it right. So your tax money is being spent to send illegals to college for free, give them free health care, buy them cars, buy them homes. There's kids in this country right now, 20 years old, who have been working their whole lives that can't get a loan to start a business or buy a home. And Democrats think it's okay that people that broke the law are being rewarded for criminal behavior. You make me sick. You really do. All for voters. That's all it is. All for voters. Tom Homan says he hopes that Democrats will listen to Lanken Riley's 911 call while she fought for her life for 17 minutes not to be murdered. Of course they won't, because they could care less. You think Kamala Harris or Joe Biden care about that girl? You think they care that she lost her life? They could care less. It's all about votes. How can we have a voting base forever. Just allow an invasion, give them everything for free, and then they'll vote for us. So let's listen to Tom Homan.
Administration has blood on their hands. I hope that every mayor and governor who supports sanctuary cities listens to that tape. Listen to the way that young lady died. I just want to be this young lady got killed. No, listen to her fight for her life for 17 minutes, fighting for breath, fighting to survive. This happens. She just one of many. Griff, you know, there's many stories under this administration that's happened, and there's many more we don't know about because sometimes sanctuary cities don't capture their foreign national citizenship, so it's not an end report, and they never contact ICE. So this is one of many, and it's disgusting, and President Trump is going to put a stop to this.
Absolutely makes me sick. The Democratic Party, you know, they pretend they're all about decency and righteousness and, you know, all these white, especially white liberal women applauding and clapping. Oh, how dare you speak out against them? They should all be forced to listen to this tape. All of them. Democrats could care less. It's the party of criminals, illegals. I love when some rich lady, it's usually a white liberal woman, you know, preaching to everybody how racist they are and you should have illegals move next door to you. And then they bring illegals to the woman's house like, okay, well, they can live in your neighborhood now. And she goes completely insane and shows her true racist self. I love it. Every single time. Cracks me up. Because they're all full of it. It's okay if it's happening in your neighborhood, but don't let illegals come live in my, you know, Martha's Vineyard neighborhood. Then it's a problem. You make me sick. And not one of these Democrats, a mayor, senator, none of them care about Lanken Riley or the rest of us. And Americans know it. And you know how you know Americans know it? That's why they voted for Donald Trump overwhelmingly. You know what's another thing that cracks me up? All these psychotic Democrat liberals are blaming Trump for the inflation. Trump has only been in office for 3 weeks. Joe Biden's had 4 years. And you want to blame Trump for the inflation because things didn't come down in a millisecond and the prices get dropped. Yeah, that's Trump's fault. You all make me sick. Your party is absolutely disgusting. All the liberal news stations that report this garbage. Oh, yeah, Trump broke his promises. The inflation's up and the prices didn't come down. The man's not even been in office a full month yet. That's what Joe Biden created and Kamala Harris in 4 years. But somehow it's Trump's fault. Clowns. Bunch of clowns. You're all clowns. The next thing that's trending is Cynthia Erivo is set to play Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ Superstar at the Hollywood Bowl this summer. First of all, Jesus wasn't a woman and Jesus wasn't a lesbian. And I have one message for all you demons. Keep messing with Jesus, keep playing with his name and messing with his image, and you're going to be in hell where you belong. And I'm going to leave it at that. So keep up the great work, Hollywood. This is exactly why nobody watches your shit movies anymore. You're absolutely disgusting. You're vile. And you will be going to hell. So keep playing games with Jesus' name. I got a question for Hollywood. How come you never do this to Allah? How come you never make Allah a woman and a lesbian and all the other garbage that you do to Jesus? It's the only religion. Christians are the only people that you're allowed to mock, persecute, and kill around the world. Everybody else, you can do whatever you want. Listen, Merry Christmas. I believe in Jesus Christ. There's only 2 genders. Marriage is only between a man and a woman. If you don't like it, F you. That's my thoughts on that. This will be the last story of the day. This story should outrage you more than anything. The woman in the Social Security office tells how illegals were coming into America, and on day 1, they were getting Social Security for the rest of their lives, being set up forever, all the taxpayers' dime.
That sounds like somebody who's planning on staying here.
They wanted us to try to identify them in such a way that they would qualify for long-term Social Security disability. Now,
What?
Yeah, and long-term Social Security disability is for life.
Yeah.
So if they get identified and qualify for long-term Social Security disability, they are as good as set up for life for medical treatment.
That doesn't sound like a refugee to me. Just being honest.
Yeah.
That sounds like somebody who's planning on staying here.
Yeah,
A refugee
right.
stays until the problem's over and then goes home.
Well, that's right. And so they instructed us to try to identify, to try to get the client, because once they arrive here, they're now called clients.
Give me a break.
They're now
They're called clients.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
Democrats are
clients
just a joke.
pay.
Sure.
See?
Sure. I'm starting
And
to
so-
see where this is leading here.
So they told us that we needed to talk to the client and ask them if they'd had any headaches, recurring headaches, or any lower back problems. Excuse me, anything that would qualify them for Social Security long-term disability.
Wait. So let me get this straight. Part of the screening is supposed to be, are you sick, maimed, injured, whatever?
Right.
No. Okay, good. You can come in.
Yeah.
You get on the airplane. Are you sick, maimed, injured, whatever? Yes. Good. So we can give you disability.
Correct.
What?
Yes.
This is insanity.
Yes, it is insanity.
But in order to get Social Security disability benefits, don't you need a Social Security number?
Well, we were instructed in the meeting that one of the first things we were supposed to do was sign them up for Social Security. Yeah.
Wait. This is unbelievable. So they come over here and they get a Social Security number.
Right.
They become legal.
Correct.
Are you pulling my leg?
No, I'm not. And then after we processed them for a Social Security card, then we were to process them for a U.S. passport.
No, you're not.
So that's about the time I kind of decided, okay, I was done. I've heard everything I want to know. I was so angry about this, that they would receive a U.S. passport. It just, I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that we were giving these people Social Security cards and U.S.
You can't believe Democrats are vile, corrupt criminals? Come on. Where you been hiding?
passports and free medical, free housing, free food, free everything.
Yeah, but the thing that bothers me, because the food we can recoup from, and the money irritates me, but we can earn it back and we can stop the program or whatever it is. But once you give somebody a Social Security number and you give them what's considered globally the golden ticket, which is a U.S. passport,
Right.
that is beyond comprehension that
Right.
we're doing this.
That's right.
Do bureaucrats know this is happening?
Well, interestingly enough, no, they don't. A lot of governors are unaware of how many refugees have come into their state, where they're located, under what conditions they've arrived.
They're not refugees. They're illegal aliens.
And I believe this is intentional. Now, we do know that the governor of Texas and the governor of Tennessee have both stopped this, and they're refusing to take any more refugees. In fact, the federal government has filed a lawsuit against both of those states because they're refusing to take any more refugees.
How dare you keep your people safe?
Right.
But, okay, so let's just say all the states are saying we want to pull out of this refugee resettlement program from the federal government, then they're fine, right? There's no other way the refugees are getting in?
Well, no. The state can assert that they no longer want to receive refugees, and then the federal government says, all right. And so then they start implementing a program called the Wilson Fish program. And Wilson Fish simply bypasses the sovereignty of that state. In other words, the state no longer processes the refugees. That means, in plain English, you no longer get to know how many are coming in, when they're coming in, where they're going, how much money is being spent on them, whether they're diseased or not diseased. You've lost all control over the entire situation, and as a sovereign state, you've relinquished that. And so Wilson Fish comes in then, and all of the federal monies that are set aside for this program bypass the state and go to third-party entities. And that would be something like Catholic Charities or Jewish Vocational Services. So it would bypass the state entirely, and they would take over the entire process of processing the refugees.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. And as a U.S. citizen and as a citizen of the sovereign state of Missouri, I am not in favor of that. I think we need to maintain our sovereignty just like we would in the United States. Honestly, we are first a citizen of the state of Missouri because we are a sovereign state, and then we're a citizen of the United States of America. But our first sovereignty and citizenship is to our state, and a lot of people don't realize that. So in order for us to maintain the health and welfare and the security of our borders, we must know who's coming and going.
Yeah, you have to.
Right.
You have to. And FUNU doesn't work for me.
FUNU doesn't work for me either.
And giving them a Social Security number and a passport actually makes this problem worse, not better.
Correct.
Have we been placed at risk? I mean, you mentioned that this is an invasion.
Mm-hmm.
Are we at risk?
I believe we are at risk, Josh, because when they come in, we're urged to compatriate them with fellow refugees, those who have come in before them. We are urged to locate other communities of refugees from the same country of origin, the same language, the same culture as those who are arriving. And so when they come in, and we have had Syrians come in, and we know Syrians are on the list of those 7 countries that have been banned. And so we've received Syrians here in Missouri.
Even after the ban?
Yes.
What?
Yes. And so these Syrians are coming in, and we know that they are coming from a country of origin that has malevolent intent toward us as a nation. And we now know they're not being vetted, and we now know that not only are they coming from a malevolent country, or a country that has malevolent intent, and we now know they're not vetted, we're giving them support, and we're giving them a passport.
What name do they put on the passport if their name on the thing is FUNU?
I don't know.
Can they just pick a name?
There you have it. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Democrats taking all your tax money, giving it to illegals and people from countries that want to do nothing but commit acts of terrorism against Americans, just like what's going on in Germany. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, you can go straight to hell where you belong. F both of you. We dodged a bullet with Kamala Harris not getting elected. Every single American on the planet needs to be thanking God for Donald Trump.